It's come to my attention that some people don't like the mayor of New York City. I don't know what he's done. I don't know what he's doing right now, but at least I can sit here and say I'm proud that somebody in some form of political power had the balls to say, where's BLM? How come y'all being hypocrites? We can't be hypocrites about this. If you care about these two names that you wanted to bring up for the past 2 years, you can talk about all these other instances of black lives being lost. I thought that was fair, but of course, when people get called out, they always send somebody to try to make it all make sense. In walks in Hank Newsom. And if there was ever an example to show why the black community is so divided, how come one person can say something and be viewed as the prophet, but somebody else calling something out that the prophet said is a bad thing, you have to hear what this fool says in order to make it seem like, hey, calling out BLM is the bad thing, and this person right here, he's not a good guy.
Our problem is when black lives are oppressed and don't receive justice, nobody cares. Nothing happens. Something happens to a white person, the world moves, right? So let's get back to Eric Adams. This mayor who is a Democrat, but he spews conservative and Republican talking points. At the end of the day, we have a name for someone like this, and this is someone we call a coon, right? Because he's black man, and he's a white man in blackface, and a very conservative-minded white man at that. So what we have is a man with hundreds of people on the city's payroll, billions of dollars in budget, and 40,000 police officers. He has 10 victims in one night. The night before, he had 16 shooting victims on a train. And they say, what are you going to do about policing? And he says, what about BLM? Is America not smart enough to see him deflecting? Don't listen to what Eric Adams says. He gives great press statements. He's the master of the press conference. Some kid dies, he hugs their mother, he's holding up sneakers, he's crying. But what we elected him for, the city of New York, was to keep the city safe. This city is a war zone, and he can't stop it. So with all his power, he turns to BLM and says, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to organize people in our communities to go out and preach a message of love and unification in the streets.
You can criticize the mayor for all he's done, for all the things he doesn't do, for what he perpetuates, and all the things he helps and doesn't help that leads to more violence. You could do that. I have no problem with that. But when your organization, when BLM gets called out and you decide to deflect and call somebody a coon because you can't handle that you got called out, you're a poor sport. Aren't you the same person that was wanting bloodshed if you didn't get your way about something?
Then we're going to be returned to the days of driving in our cars and police pulling us out and searching us for no reason. He is absolutely wrong. If he believes that we're going to allow our children to be stopped and frisked in the streets again, he is absolutely wrong. If they think that they're going to go back to the old ways of policing, then we're going to take to the streets again. There will be riots. There will be fire, and there will be bloodshed, and there will be bloodshed, and there will be bloodshed, and there will be bloodshed.
You're the same guy who thought that was okay, but now you're sitting here calling somebody else a coon because they called BLM out.
All right, let me make it simple. Forget this is clearly a little bit over the head here. Do you condemn rioting and burning down buildings?
Whose head?
You're not answering the question. Do you condemn riots and burning down buildings after a police use of force incident you don't like?
No, what I'll say is I understand when a police officer unjustifiably kills someone, why people lash out. I understand that completely.
I didn't ask. Why can't you answer the question?
I'm not going to condemn.
You can't answer the
nor
question.
am I going to condone it. Now, see, here's the thing.
Isn't that cowardly?
When Osama bin Laden and those terrorists attacked the United States of America, can you let me talk?
Man.
You have a show. You talk as much as you want.
You seem to talk a lot of junk, and then when I put you on the spot, you won't answer a damn question. Do you condone violence?
I'm answering the question.
Or do you condemn
I'm
violence?
answering
You're
the
all
question.
over the place. Just
I'm answering
condemn
the
violence and burning of buildings down. How hard is this?
Okay. So when Osama bin Laden attacked the World Trade Center, did you say America should deal with it peacefully?
You're not answering the question, man.
I'm posing questions to you.
That has nothing to do with people burning down businesses in New York City. You're not going to answer the question, Hawk, but listen.
Wait, okay, I'll give you this. I'll give you this.
No, there's nothing
I
else to
don't
get.
condone it. I don't promote it, but I will not condemn it.
Yeah, that's just cowardly, man. That's just cowardly.
No, you're a coward.
But I do think the funniest part is that in your mind, whenever something happens in New York, the mayor's just there hugging babies, walking up to families saying, oh, yes, it's going to be okay. Your family's going to be okay. We're going to make sure that you have all the things needed so that you could be okay as a means of PR. But in the same rant where you're talking down on somebody, calling out BLM, you decide to say, oh, we're going to hold some peaceful gatherings. We're going to bring the community together and we're going to show that this is not what that's going to do.
We're going to organize people in our communities to go out and preach a message of love and unification in the streets.
How are these two things mutually different? If you're going to sit there and say when a tragedy happens, the mayor comes around and he's hugging people, kissing, doing photo ops, but then you come around when a black community is in shambles, there's crime everywhere, and you think, oh, getting everybody together to sing songs, kumbaya, smoke weed, and fix that missing tooth, you think that's gonna help the community. No. Everybody's tired of the talking from all these people that claim we're marginalized, we're victims, we need help, we need assistance, all that. They want something done. And honestly, all the people that's spending time making sure that they see you in suits ranting about something, or a trial that didn't go your way, so you bitching about bloodshed, you getting on national TV calling somebody a coon, somebody get in front of a family of a dead guy, having a photo op, all of that does nothing to help the problem. If everybody could shut their asses up and actually create some form of a structure that would lessen all this crime, lessen all these lives being lost, lessen all these people worrying about if somebody walking next to them is going to jab them in the face, we would actually be doing something that would prevent more lives being lost. Because I would hope to think you people actually value black lives. But, as I've been shown time and time again, it doesn't matter the life, it matters the narrative. You got these people in BLM who spend all the time letting you know about two names while they're buying mansions, and then once they get caught, they say, oh, wait, it's a content creation house. You got people who talk down on other black people who call them out, and then people want to wonder why the black community is divided. It's because a lot of people think that they're right without realizing that they're wrong. You got all these people who want to be right, but all of them are wrong. And when it comes to Hank Newsom, you are just like the person you're criticizing. You talk a big game, but guess what? We still got problems. And you, BLM, Eric Adams, no matter who it is, y'all talk a big game, but y'all don't back it up. So when all these lives are being lost, and you pick and choose which ones matter, you pick and choose which ones to protest for, you want to get in front of the mayoral campaign office and say, we got a problem, come fix it, but you're not going to do it for every other black life being lost unjustly, guess what? That fucking organization needs to be criticized. Anybody who doesn't support it but just says the words needs to be criticized, because you can't sit here and say Black Lives Matter and you choose which ones matter to you. Subscribe to the channel. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye.